Hello everyone, how are you today? I am Liliana Amaro, children's sleep coach, and today I'm going to talk about when our babies turn to and sleep becomes a nightmare for the parents, when that age becomes very challenging, and also not just about in the sleep department, but we start talking about the terrible twos when the children start having different behaviors. Is also a very common stage when the children start going to childcare, or the mothers decide to have another children or another baby, and it's very challenging for the parents. So I am Liliana Amaro, and today I'm a little bit informal today because I'm on a holiday. I'm down in the Gold Coast having a little bit of a time off, but we cannot miss our learning to sleep session especially when your kids are having a nap after being sleeping all morning. I went down to do a little bit of exercise. I come up and, oh surprise, they're all sleeping except my 2-year-old. He's down there, over there, with a little bit of an iPad playing. He was watching a program in the telly, but everybody fell asleep, so even the dad, he's having a nap. So the 2-year-old is fully awake, needs to be entertained. He has had lunch. He has had the same amount of swim. But as I'm saying, they all become very challenging in this department. Especially, I got a 2-year-old boy, but this happens with the girls as well. We need to be very careful with the sleep routines and the sleep sessions that they have at this time, because it gets a lot of it goes very close to their behaviors. It's pretty much you need to have that child content for the full time in regards of attention, food, activities, and sleep. They need to be fulfilled at that age, otherwise you are in for a massive tantrum or for a breakdown, or you will see. Okay, what's happening when the baby turns 2? Obviously, heaps of challenges come to the age. The little baby is no more a little baby, he's just growing up. He's turning like a little boy or girl. He's start having more personality, more things to say. This little creature, I will call it, it's just fascinating. They are lovely. They start speaking. They start communicating. The speech becomes much better for most of them. Obviously, not all are in the same and at the same level, but they start communicating much better, which is also a little bit of a problem sometimes, because we don't understand them so well at some points, and they get frustrated because they cannot pass the idea they're trying to give us, and that's when they become angry. And especially, well, if we have everything to that stage, is when they can start having a lot of wake-ups through the night, a lot of screaming. I'm going to put a little bit of examples here with my 2-year-old at the moment. Why did I call it when a sleep becomes a nightmare for the parents? Why? Because usually when they are 2 is when the parents contact me. I have heaps of 2-year-olds that I really had to take to bed. Why? Because in the past they used to be easy perhaps, and now that they are grown, they have a little more say in these regards, or is the time when the parents have had enough on letting them sleep in the bed. They said, this is it, you need to go back to your cot or your bed, because we want, or we have decided to have a child or another child, or we are pregnant already, and this is not restful for anyone. We start planning maybe time away with our partner or something, and then this is when we decide this is time to change. However, if we haven't had a very good rundown in the sleep department for the last 2 years, this is when we wonder, well, how I do it now. I find it really hard. He's having tantrums or she is having tantrums during the day. How can I deal with everything in one go? I'm too tired already now to deal for this because I don't sleep so well. So let me tell you, it's a common problem for many parents. You can also, you're not alone, obviously. This is what I want to say. You will find that this situation happens to many. A lot of children that used to sleep very well, used to be really good, this is the time when they become a bad sleepers, when they become very hard for the parents, and the parents don't know what's happening. But I tell you what's happening sometimes is the cuteness that comes with this little creature that has grown, this little person that has grown is just fascinating. You know, when I say they start getting dressed themselves, they start doing more things, more abilities. They have the ability to tell you, I love you. They kiss you, they recognize you, they want to cuddle. So it's really hard to set limits when this little person is showing so much love towards you, especially at nighttime, and then you want to put them in bed. No, it's just like how can I break the heart of this little person is telling me, please, mommy, read me more books. I want to spend more time with you, please. I want to cuddle you. A lot of moms, me as well, give in into these moments because it's sometimes when it's the first child or the second child or the third child or maybe our last child that we decide to have, it's really hard because we think, oh, our baby is already 2 and we're not having any more, so maybe let's enjoy it. That happens to me sometimes. I don't know if I have more babies, but I will enjoy the cuddles with him, for example, and I will let him just fall asleep next to me this time. So we get in many of these situations, but sometimes these situations, we don't think about these consequences that all these situations are going to bring. Like, they think they can do that every day or every night. They don't want to go for a nap. They get very agitated. Okay, one of the main reasons or the main advices or tips that I'm going to give you here is, one is always try to look after that routine and that sleep time. What happened when we pass that sleep time? The kids are going to be overtired, and then it will be harder, very hard, to put them to sleep. Because they're changing. Sometimes you can reason with them, but then sometimes don't. That situation is going to kick in. The part in where you cannot reason is going to kick in, and they won't care. They won't care what you're trying to say. They won't care what is the good or the bad. They won't think about consequences. They are just very tired to have or to decide which way to go, and they will stay in that path that they want to do whatever they want. They want to stay awake. They want a book. They want 3 books. They want mommy. They want to do. So that is one of the parts that you are going to encounter when you have a 2-year-old that is overtired, that is already past the bedtime. Okay, it's very important that they sleep naps. See me giving the good advice. My baby, my 2-year-old has not had a nap today, but I can tell he's going to be sleeping very soon, or he's going to fall asleep early today, well, later in the afternoon. So try to think about, when you look at the baby, where are we? Are we having a good routine? Is this what's happening? We are letting it too late. And this is for experience as well. We had visitors. The visitors are gone. We didn't want to be strict so much about when the parents or the grandparents were visiting. We wanted to be happy, enjoy the time, and not stress so much about time. So we let it go for a little bit, and now the consequences feel now. No, it's taking a while to get back into the routine. The bedtimes are a little bit later than usual, but we're trying to work back into that, okay? Because it's very important. What's happening to us? We start noticing changes in our child. That around 7 or 8, he's really tired. He doesn't know what to do, and at that time he starts becoming a little bit aggressive in all the matters. You know, it's just like he wants to play, be rough with all of us. And it's been hard. It's been hard for us to control that because it usually ends in a tantrum that he doesn't want to do something or whatever. When we try and we're fulfilling everything earlier, like dinner, bedtime, relaxing time, book, he's more giving into going to bed, lie down, but it's always something, okay? Change of habits. it's a very good time for when the parents decide to change the habit of start having a routine and good sleep time, new place, new spot. Is a little bit more hard work than when you are dealing with a baby that you are going to control almost everything, or you need to do everything for them, because this is a little person that you are going to be dealing with. However, it's not difficult if you are in for the change with your partner and you have decided that this change is needed and you communicate very well, you are in a good set of mind, you are not to the breaking point. I don't advise to be in the breaking point. If you are, doesn't matter. It's always a way to step back a little bit, think this change is good, is needed, let's do it together, and then start doing it. Okay, we need to try to do it, and then I'm going to be in the best mindset to apply all these changes. Communicate with the children or with the child that you are about to do it. If you have more than one, or if you have one, just talk about the changes that are about to happen. We are going to introduce new routines. We are going to do this. Put it as if it's a game for them and it's fun and everybody's going to enjoy it. And the kids are usually, when you see excited, the kids get excited with you. But if you are like very demanding, very impulsive to things or to changes, then they won't take it that way. They would put a resistance, because that's a human thing. When we try to force something into all of us, usually everybody tends to feel that to put that resistance, just because we don't know what's coming with the change. But if we make the change happen very nicely, it's going to happen very easy. Another point is, this is sometimes the time that they need to go to childcare. Well, situations that we encounter as well is the children that go to childcare since earlier ages sleep really well in the childcare, even though the ones that go part-time, they sleep really well in childcare, but at home they don't. And the moms go crazy because why my child is not sleeping at my house. And I go to the childcare and they is having all nap at the perfect time in the same place all the time. Usually by 2 years old, by 2 years of age, sorry, they are not sleeping in cots anymore. They usually in little beds that they set up by themselves. This is a very good recommendation to do. One example is Leon. Leon sleeps in a little mattress. He's coming here. What happened? You finished?
No.
No, okay. Okay. You can play. Sit here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he usually sleeps in a mat, and they teach them how to put the little blankets and the little sheets, which is make them participate in that little routine for sleep, and they sleep with all their friends or all the children that go to and the environment is encouraged. They close the curtains, they put soft music, they make them sleep. Of course, their children don't have naps as well. But what happened here? They don't have an option. They don't give them the option to play, or they don't give them the option. They obviously are with a different person, and it's not the mom or the dad. They are being told that it's time, sleep time. They set up and they go to rest. Okay, what happened at home? We are not so organized. Of course, there are moms that are, but the normal moms, I will say, we are not so organized. We don't have that mat. We don't have that environment. We usually out and about somewhere. We want to be social. We want to be in the park. We don't care. We just try to deal with it. But oh, surprise! There are days when we will love that they have a nap, and that's when we are concerned. Well, what do we really want? Which way are we going to go? Are we going to try to look after the nap of the child? We think they still need it. You think so many mothers as well give up at 2 years old. They say no, they're not napping. That's it. Some moms persist. I'm one of to persist. Of course, I'm giving the talk. I came back. He's awake, but I am always in for him to have a nap, because it's necessary. He will be in a much better mood later on. He will be very happy when he wakes up, and we all be more calm. Okay, if he doesn't sleep, and let's say the others wake up, we go downstairs to have more swim, he's going to start getting very cranky, he's going to start losing it, and it's going to start setting up the little lit, it's the little match that starts setting up. The dad that gets angry, the mom gets agitated, and then the sisters as well, because we need to get up or whatever. So, and we need to look at this into the big picture, okay? What is more beneficial for the family, whether he has a nap or not? Okay, well, we perhaps after this, what I need to do is take the iPad, let him rest a little bit, and then see if he falls asleep, okay? Otherwise, we need to put another strategy in place, but we always try for him to have a nap. One thing we do usually on the weekends is always plan when are we moving to places. If we are going to go out, okay, what time it is, how long it's going to take us to get there, and how can he mainly have a nap or rest. If he doesn't have in the way back, because perhaps we left very early, in the way going there, we left very early the house, and it's obvious that he's not tired, we're going to get there, but after an activity, we then calculate that he has a little rest, at least in the car, okay? So important is like a criticism to look at mother that decide not to have a nap. Everybody knows their child better than I do, of course, and if you have decided not to give a nap, it's okay, but we need to look after their sleep. Usually, my recommendation is, if your child doesn't have a nap, have an early bedtime, because your child needs to sleep and it's much better for them. Okay? And one last advice that I'm going to give you today is that you have to be more firm in your decisions, in your changes, and in your directions to your child. If he's not listening or she's not listening and you need her to do something, you need to be firm. Perhaps applying consequences, no harsh consequences. They need to be simple consequences and give choices to the little person, your child. You need to say, well, okay, you can choose not to go to bed now, but you are going to choose to stay here in the darkness, sitting, watching nothing, because mommy is tired, and this is what you want to do. You can go and rest, very nice, have a lie down in your bed. Mommy can pat you a little bit and then go away, or you can choose to be here having a tantrum and do nothing because it's bedtime. So this is the kind of consequences, this is the kind of options you can give to the child. You just make them, it's a way to start introducing little decision making into that very young age, and which is not affecting anyone and is also beneficial. Okay? Well, thank you so much for everybody that is watching. Hilda, that is watching from far away, perhaps you need some advice for your little nieces. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week. Over in the other countries is Sunday night. Here the week is just starting. We have a few days off, which I'm going to enjoy so much. My children are sleeping now. I'm going to have lunch and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. If you just joined, keep watching. If you need to talk to me, free sleep assessment, the first point of contact. I need to know your situation. You need an advice. You want to just know if what you're doing is okay, if what you're thinking on doing is going to be beneficial or a good change for you. How can you do it? Contact me. I don't charge for those situations. If you need a sleep plan, a routine, a little bit more depth or deep help to get out from where you are, to have a good sleep, to have everything in place, I can do it for you. It's my passion to help families. It's a challenge for me as well. I'm happy to do it. So please feel free to communicate, to reach out, and follow us. I hope to see you here next week. Thank you so much. Bye.